Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from SpeechModification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce holiday and celebrate. So today is a holiday in the US. It's Thanksgiving, so we're celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday. You can join our live class today after this class. If you have questions about pronunciation in American English on our YouTube channel, just type your questions in the chat and I'll answer them for you live. For this class, let's take a look at how to pronounce holiday and celebrate. So holiday has first syllable stress, and letter O in holiday says the ah sound. So very often in a stressed syllable, when we have an O in English, we actually say the ah vowel. So you don't want any rounding here, not holiday or holiday, but just a straight open ah, ha. So thinking of it as AH may be helpful for you. And then we have the letter I, which is going to be a reduced vowel. So in this case, you can either use an sound or an sound. It doesn't matter too much if you're using the schwa or the you really just want a reduced vowel there. So you don't want an e or a long or a long very short and quick. Lastly, we end on day, which has our diphthong a. So it sounds like holiday, long, short, short. You can hear if I use the vowel, holiday, or I use the vowel, holiday, doesn't really make much difference. I just don't want a lot of length there. That's what's called a reduced vowel in an unstressed syllable. They typically are either an or an In the dictionary, you're going to see for holiday probably an sound, because typically when the word has a letter I or a letter E, we often will have the sound specifically rather than the sound. But again, it's a continuum of sounds of reduced vowels. Then when we go to celebrate, same thing. You may, in the unstressed syllable, you may have an or an We do have first syllable stress here. So my first letter E is a tense vowel like in red or in cell. So I've rewritten that here for you with the word cell to help you think about letter C saying S and letter E saying the sound. Watch out that when you see letter E, you don't want to do an A sound in English. Typically, letter E is going to be an rather than an A. In a lot of languages, when you see an E letter, you're going to have more of that tense celebrate, and you want to avoid that celebrate. Relax the tongue, open the mouth a little bit. It's kind of midway between the vowel sounds in the front there. Again, I wrote here with the schwa. You could also say it with an sound, celebrate. And then we have another A, just like in holiday. There's three common ways that we spell the A diphthong, either with an A and a silent E at the end. That makes the A say its name. So just like we call this letter A, that's diphthong A. We also will spell it with AY. Sometimes also we spell it with AI, like in rain. So I wrote that this way here for you, that you want to think about brate, celebrate. You'll notice that when a word ends with T in American English, we don't always use a burst of air for our T. I don't necessarily say celebrate. I can, and it's not incorrect. But especially when we're following this word with another word, if I'm saying celebrate Thanksgiving, I'm going to stop the air for that T, celebrate Thanksgiving, and I'll just release it into the next word. So that helps me with making my speech more fluent. If I had to put all of the T's on the ends, it would sound like celebrate Thanksgiving today. It would break up the flow. So that's a little marker I use to represent the stopped T sound. Okay. Thank you for being a part of class today. I hope if you are celebrating the holiday today, you have an enjoyable day. And if you are on holiday, or if you are watching now and available, you can jump over with me to YouTube to join our live question and answer class. Normally we have that class every Friday at 12 o'clock Seattle time, 3 o'clock Eastern time, where you can type your questions in the chat and I'll answer them for you live. Today, because it's Thanksgiving holiday, we'll be doing it at a special time on Thursday. So use the link here on Facebook in the description for this video to join the live class next. I hope to see you there, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another Word of the Day class, as well as every Friday with our live question and answer class. Happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful holiday. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye everyone. Hope to see you in class.